26.14 is going to feature just a little bit of everything as we've got 4 champions getting buffed, 5 receiving nerfs, along with 4 item and rune nerfs as well. So, as always, we're here to give you guys the rundown of all the changes so you know exactly what's going to be hitting live servers for this upcoming Wednesday, July 15th. So starting things off with the system changes, we have a buff to blue buff as the ability haste that you receive from that buff is going to go up from 10 flat to now 10 scaling to 20 based on level. You're going to get 10 haste from levels 1 through 5, 15 haste from levels 6 through 10, and 20 haste when you're level 11 or higher. Hextech Rocket Belt is on the nerf list for 26.14 as it's become a very problematic item in pro play right now. Pros are building the item on their immobile mages mainly because of how impactful the active dash is. So, Riot's going to be making changes that's going to reduce the strength of Rocket Belt on those mages. The build path is what's being changed so that a Kindle Gem and Ruby Crystal are replacing Fiendish Codex and an Amp Tone. Active dash cooldown is going to go up from 40 to 50 seconds, and the stats are being altered so that the AP is down from 70 to 60, and health is up from 300 to 350. The upgraded version of Gluttonous Greaves for mid laners when they complete their quest called Immortal Path is being nerfed as the passive damage increase is going from 5 to 4%, while the increased healing, shielding, and regen is dropping from 15 to 12%. Jack of all trades is being hit with a nerf so that the adaptive damage you receive at 5 stacks is going to be dropping from 10 to 6, and the adaptive damage at 10 stacks is going from 25 to 20. Protoplasm Harness is going to be nerfed in a few ways, with the cost going up from 2,500 to 2,600. Passive health is going down from 200 scaling to 300 to 100 scaling to 300, while the passive healing drops from 200 scaling to 400 to 100 scaling to 400. All right, and moving on to the champion changes now. Corki is going to be receiving 2 buffs, with his AD growth going up from 2 to 2.5. Our passive cooldown reduction when you auto attack is being increased from 2 scaling to 4 seconds to 2 scaling to 6 seconds. We have a few Mordekaiser buffs lined up, as our stat steal is being increased from 10 to 13%. E damage is going up as well from 60 scaling to 120 to 60 scaling to 140, while EAP ratio does see a small boost as well from 40 to 45%. Nami has been one of the weaker enchanters ever since the Imperial Mandate changes, so a buff is definitely going to be headed her way now, with E damage per hit going up from 20 scaling to 60 to 20 scaling to 80. Yunara is going to receive the same treatment as Corki for this patch with an AD growth buff, as it's being increased from 2.5 to 3. All right, and moving on to the champion nerfs now. We've got Garen, who's going to be losing some damage on his R as it's dropping from 150 scaling to 350 to 125 scaling to 275. Riot has a couple of nerfs planned for Jace as his passive movement speed on form swap is going down from 40 to 30. Our hammer form resist is going to be lowered from 5 scaling to 35 to 5 scaling to 26. Now, we're not sure if this is just a typo from Riot or not, but Jace's ratio on his R hammer resist may be getting changed from a 7.5% bonus 80 ratio to a 7.5% total 80 ratio. Locke has landed incredibly powerful as a mid laner shortly after his release, so a few nerfs are being issued to combat that. Q nail damage is going to be lowered from 50 scaling to 90 to 50 scaling to 82. Q stack base bonus damage is dropping from 20 scaling to 60 to 18 scaling to 50. Q nail recast hold time is going down from 5 to 4 seconds, and then W base gray health cap per rank is being lowered from 40 scaling to 200 to 40 scaling to 160. Senna has been an OP tier ADC for a while now, so more nerfs are headed her way, with crit damage modifier going from negative 15% to negative 20%. Q AP ratio for the slow is down from 10 to 7%, and then Q AP ratio for the healing is dropping from 50 to 35%. And then the final champion on the change list for 26.14 is going to be Seraphine, with a really small change as her Q damage AP ratio is dropping from 50 to 40%. But hey, while videos like these that we just went through give you insights on what to play, our brand new Season 16 Essentials course for every role teaches you how to win, each of them designed to walk you through every stage of the game from start to finish, from the exact trading and recall timers that you need to win lane to the mid-game macro decisions that 99% of players on the internet just get completely wrong, all the way to the team fighting tips and tricks challengers abuse to always deal the highest damage possible. Whether you're a top laner in the most unfavorable matchup in all of League history, a mid laner having to deal with everybody in your lane 24/7, a jungler trying to balance ganking and farming, an ADC stuck trying to hard carry with a support who just exists to grief you, or maybe a support that's struggling to carry games on your own. Our Essentials courses are tailor-made to focus on the exact concepts that actually matter for climbing, on your role in your elo. Check them out today, completely risk-free, using the link in the pinned comment or description below, as if you don't climb at least 5 divisions, you get every penny back. So that is going to round everything out for the 26.14 changes, as we can expect for all of those to reach live servers this upcoming Wednesday, July 15th. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see ya in the next one.